As an independent content creator, my work on all channels and platforms is sustained through the generous donations of supporters and comrades, and allows me to focus as much time as possible on content creation. My PayPal is in the description of this video for anyone who is able and would like to contribute. Thank you. I am Comrade Shane, and welcome to Juche Lessons. The Juche idea claims that in order to ensure economic self-sufficiency, it is necessary to adhere to the principle of self-reliance in economic construction. To develop the economy in a multi-sided and comprehensive way, to equip the economy with modern technique and train large number of national technical personnel, and to build one's own basis of raw material and fuel. General Secretary Kim Jong-il said, quote, "In order to build an independent national economy, it is essential to adhere to the principle of self-reliance in economic construction." Unquote. Self-reliance is the revolutionary spirit and fighting principle of revolutionaries who carry out revolution successfully to the end. Without the revolutionary spirit of self-reliance, it is impossible to carry out the complicated and arduous revolutionary struggle. As economic construction itself is a revolutionary struggle, it is impossible to solve arduous and complicated problems arising in the building of an independent national economy without the spirit to do things on one's own. Those who do not believe in their own strength cannot do anything and produce creative initiatives. They kneel down before difficulties. Only by adhering to the revolutionary principle of self-reliance is it possible to use the people's strength and resources of the country, build the independent economy depending on one's own fund and technique, develop the economy actively and at a high rate, overcoming difficulties, in the end achieving prosperity. Self-reliance is the only concrete way to achieve this. This is proved by the fact the Korean people have built an independent national economy under the revolutionary banner of self-reliance, despite all the stifling and hostile moves of the imperialists. Thanks to imperialism, they were handed over a backward economy from the old society, and that economy was destroyed further during the war of the imperialists to maintain control of territories. In this arduous situation, they successfully fulfilled their arduous task of post-war rehabilitation and built a socialist economy at a considerably high speed. This is because the party and the people in Korea maintained the revolutionary principle of self-reliance, mobilized and used its own strength and internal reserves. In the period of arduous march and the forced march, they built Anbyeon Youth Power Station, Taechon Power Station, Songwon Dam, and many small and medium power stations, the Youth Hero Motorway, Shangru Bridge, Mount Kowal Park, realigned lands in Gyeongyang Province and North Pyongyang Province. They produced sophisticated modern machine tools and even successfully launched a satellite. The reality is that if one makes strenuous efforts, one can build an independent national economy even in difficult situations. But it is impossible to build such an economy if one does not believe in one's own strength. It is also important in achieving economic self-sufficiency to develop the economy in a multi-sided and comprehensive way. Multi-sided development means to equip the economy with different sectors, and comprehensive development means to equip the economy with all processes from the production of raw materials, semi-products, to the production of finished products. To develop the economy in a multi-sided and comprehensive way is necessary to ensure an independent material and cultural economy and to safely and rapidly develop the economy. For instance, big power chauvinists tried to make Korea join the CMEA. The CMEA was the economic cooperative organization formed by the East European countries in January 1949 to rehabilitate the destroyed economy after World War II and to counter the economic blockade by the US imperialists. But the modern revisionists claimed, quote, international division of labor, unquote, in order to make the organization a tool to economically dominate and politically subjugate other countries. For example, the country that is good in vegetable growing should export vegetables and import necessary machines. The modern revisionists who were greedy for inexhaustible iron ores in Korea tried to make it join the CMEA, to bring iron ores at low price and sell machines at high price. But President Kim Il-sung maintained the line of building independent national economy of the party, saying that if Korea participate in the international division of labor under the condition that it has no machine industry, it should supply raw materials to the members of CMEA, and that if so, Korea would have empty tunnels and would beg to other countries. Korea rejected the pressure of the big power chauvinist and maintained the line of developing light industry and agriculture simultaneously, while giving priority to the heavy industry, and thus built a multi-sidedly and comprehensively developed powerful independent national economy. Herein lies the correct way to economic self-sufficiency. For economic self-sufficiency, it is also necessary to equip the economy with modern techniques and train a large number of national technical personnel. Technical dependency leads to economic dependency. This is the era of science and technology. If one has not one's own advanced technique, one has to depend on others. Only with one's own technique can one tap one's natural resources effectively and develop the economy multi-sidedly. At present, many countries have rich fuel resources, but cannot tap it or sell its semi-products at cheap price and buy machines and other commodities at high price, because they have not their own technique. If the developing countries are to free themselves from this unfair status, they should develop science and technology and put the economy on a higher scientific and technical basis. If a country is to be economically self-sufficient, it should train a large number of national technical personnel. National technical personnel are a core force of technical development and direct agents who manage and develop the country's economy. In the era of information, mental labor plays a big role in the production of material wealth, and economic development depends on intelligent people. so the competition for elites becomes serious. Under this situation, it is especially important to train a large number of national technical personnel. It is necessary to put stress on cultural revolution, to enhance the people's cultural and technical level, and train a huge army of national technical personnel. Korea, which had no university before liberation, has given priority to the training of national technical personnel. As a result, it has completely enforced a universal 12-year free comprehensive As a result, it has completely enforced universal 11-year free compulsory education since 1975, and now has 310 universities and colleges, and a huge army of 2 million intellectuals. So, it wonderfully solved the problem of national technical personnel, a difficult problem after the liberation. This became the most valuable foundation for further consolidating an independent national economy and consistently strengthening its power. To solve this problem finally, it is necessary to intellectualize the whole society. To intellectualize the whole society means to train comprehensively, develop people with cultural and technical level tantamount to the level of university graduates. Only then is it possible to train revolutionarily and comprehensively develop national technical personnel and solve the problem completely. It is an effective way in satisfying the need for national technical personnel and in fully solving scientific and technical problems to enhance comprehensive cultural and technical level and qualitative level of national technical personnel according to the developing reality. In order to build an independent national economy, it is also necessary to build one's own basis of raw materials and fuel. As is known, without raw material and fuel, production is inconceivable. Dependency of raw materials and fuel leads to economic dependency. Without raw materials and fuel, it is useless however big and modern factories one has. Although one imports good factories from abroad, if they cannot operate without raw material and fuel, one will be only in debt. In that case, one has to import raw materials from abroad. Then, such factories are for foreign countries. It is important to build the basis of raw materials and fuel in order to develop the economy safely through economic self-sufficiency. Now, of course, it is impossible to solve all the necessary raw materials and fuel by oneself, but one should solve the raw materials and fuel that are needed in large quantities mainly by oneself. For this purpose, it is necessary to tap one's own natural resources to the maximum and develop a Juche-oriented industry that depends on one's own raw material and fuel. As mentioned previously, it is possible to build a self-sufficient economy when a country develops its economy in a multi-sided and comprehensive way, equips the economy with modern technique, trains its own national technical personnel, and builds its own basis of raw materials and fuel. It is necessary to have the correct understanding that an independent national economy does not mean quote-unquote closed economy. The building of an independent national economy never means a closed-door economy. Self-sufficient economy rejects economic domination and subjugation by other countries, not international economic cooperation. Mutual accommodation means cooperation, giving what one has and taking what one has not. To develop an economy, it is necessary to develop economic exchange and cooperation. Economic cooperation should serve the building of an independent national economy. Economic cooperation that does not serve the building of an independent economy is meaningless. And when each country builds an independent economy, it can help each other better. If one becomes backward economically, one will have nothing. So how then could it help others? With nothing in hand, how can one exercise sovereignty in international economic relations? When one builds a strong independent economy, one can actively participate in international economic cooperation on equal footing and help others. In other words, the building of an independent economy is not confronted with the international economic cooperation, but serves the latter better. That's all for this episode. Thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you have any ideas for future videos you'd like to see on this channel, please leave your suggestions in the comments. And be sure to check out our other social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search Juche Gang. Thank you and red salute, comrades.
밝기